Okay, we're in the studio here. We're doing some shots of our model Yasmin. I'm going to run you through a few different types of posing, different positions, and you'll see how I communicate my posing ideas to Yasmin as we go through. I'm going to be speaking to her, I'm going to be using my hand to show her what to do, and maybe even, if you're lucky, I might do a little bit of posing myself, just so that she can mirror what I'm doing. So the situation that we're doing here, we've just got a basic lighting setup. We haven't got anything too complicated because this is all about posing. It's not too much about lighting or intricate lighting setups. So we've simply got a large softbox here that we're going to use for all the shots. So the posing is the most important thing that we're doing in this class. So watch what I do. As I go through, we're going to do some headshots first with Yasmin, and you'll see the way that I coax her into the poses and to try and get the shots that I'm looking for. Now, don't be too worried if you don't get this first time. Posing is the thing that takes a little while to learn, as we've spoken about in previous classes. So give it a go, try it out, and just see how you go. Don't expect perfect results straight away, but the more you try, the better you'll get at it, and eventually you'll be as good as me. Well, maybe not. Okay, Yasmin, we're going to do a few shots here. We're going to do some headshots first. So we've got you sitting down on the chair. Now, when I'm doing headshots, generally doing headshots of females, I like to shoot slightly down because shooting slightly down on a female face tends to lengthen their face a little bit. And most people will benefit or prefer to have their face looking a little bit slimmer. So that's why we're shooting slightly down on Yasmin. The other thing is that if I'm shooting down on her, she needs to look up at me, which means that her eyes are nice and wide and they're open. The thing that a lot of people do when you point a camera at them is that they stick their nose in the air because they're all worried about their double chins, and they're looking down at the camera, which doesn't look particularly attractive. So you'll notice through the day I'll be encouraging Yasmin to drop her chin down just so that we get that nice angle of looking up at the camera. I don't want her looking up too much because then we'll get shots like this which look a little bit scary, but I need to be in control of all of that. Okay, Yasmin, we're going to do a shot to start with. We've got our light all set up ready to go. Yes, okay. So what I want you to do is just to turn your face a little bit that way and a little bit of a tilt on your head. Yeah? And eyes straight to the camera. I want you looking straight into the lens. Okay. Focusing. Here we go. Beautiful. Yes. Now we're going to turn your face around this way and tilt it that way. You notice I use my hand to show Yasmin what I want because it's so much easier for her if she can see exactly what I'm looking for. So this time I want you to just look at the light down here. Again, I show her exactly where to look rather than say look to the left. I tell her where to look, so it makes it much easier for her. Okay, here we go. Lovely. Now just turn your eyes to me. Yeah? Great. All right, can you push your hair over this side, please? That's it. Just turn your face this way again. That little tilt. Yep. Great. Okay, lovely. Eyes to the camera. Yeah. Now the reason why I get Yasmin to tilt her head that way is because if she tilts the other way, the light is going to be uplighting her face. The angle that she tilts her head will be determined by the angle that the light's hitting her. So we'll do it the other way and you'll see the difference that it makes. So I want you to tilt your head that way. Yeah, that's it. Looking at the camera again. Lovely. Okay, perfect. Now you'll notice that I'm not telling Yasmin what expressions to have. I've worked with Yasmin quite a lot before. She's very natural in front of the camera. And if she looks good and her expression's fine, there's no need for me to give any feedback to her. But if I want her to change her expression, if I want her to look more serious or more scary, then I'll just suggest that. I'm not going to do that, so you'll be fine. Now what I want you to do is to turn around so that you're facing over that way. Yep. I want you to turn your waist around so you're coming this way. Yep, and then turn your face further around. Great. Now the direction of the light will determine the pose that I'm using, but we're not going to go into that too much today because you've seen my other classes on lighting, but we want that light to come nicely frontal onto Yasmin's face. That's why we're getting her to turn her face that way. Okay, eyes to the camera as well. Yep, lovely. And a little tilt that way. Yeah, great. Good. Perfect. Okay, now we're going to turn you around and have you look over your shoulder at me, okay? But we'll do it the other side because that's the way the light's coming. That's it, great. So turn around far enough so that it's comfortable for you to look at me. Yeah, that's great. Now you can see from the camera that's down here in front of me, when anybody turns their head that far, they'll get small creases in their neck. Yasmin has less than most other people do, but it's a good idea to just pull some hair forward on this shoulder, just so that we can cover up those little creases in her neck, and it's going to nicely frame her face as well. Okay, yeah, lovely. Okay, focus, here we go. All right, can you do a little bit more serious expression for me? Yeah, that's it. Okay, now back around to the front again. We might face you straight onto the light. Now another thing that we can do with headshots that not a lot of people do too much is that we can crop in a bit tighter. The crop that I've been doing has been down to about the bottom of Yasmin's ribs, which gives us a nice composition because her eyes are about 2/3 of the way up the frame. But I can crop in tighter and actually chop the top of her head off in the shot, which will give her eyes a bit more impact and have her eyes showing a little bit stronger. I'm going to do one normal crop and then I'm going to crop in to show you the difference. Okay, a little tilt, yeah, lovely. Okay, just framing. Okay, here we go. Lovely, just stay there, don't move. Focusing again, okay. Good, great. Now you can see the difference that makes. It just gives the shot a little bit more impact and gives more importance to her eyes, okay? Now it's important to give the model a bit of feedback as we go through with the shoot so that she knows that she's doing the right thing and she's encouraged by knowing that, that the shots that we're getting are the sort of shots that I want and the sort of shots that she wants. All right, we'll move on now and we'll do some shots sitting on a chair, some more full-length shots. We've changed our situation now. We've got a chair that we've got Yasmin posing on. She's changed her outfit as well. But what we try to do, if we can, is to do a lot of sitting poses first up. As I've mentioned previously, people feel more comfortable when they're sitting, when they're touching something, and we'll work through to the standing poses towards the end. So we've got Yasmin sitting on a chair, quite an uncomfortable chair. I find uncomfortable chairs work best because people tend to sit up straight in uncomfortable chairs. But one thing that you need to be careful of when you are posing people, particularly ladies, on a chair or a sofa or anything like that, is that they don't sit back too far. Because if they sit back, they tend to collapse their body and they slouch down a little bit. So just listen to how I pose Yasmin. She's at the moment just sitting nice and comfortably in this chair, but we're going to make her uncomfortable and make her look good. Okay, so what we're going to get you to do, Yasmin, is move your bottom to the front of the chair. That's it, 2 feet on the floor. Yep, lovely. You can see that that posture comes up straight away once we do that. Lovely. And we'll just shoot you like that. That looks good, okay? But if I ask you to sit or stand anyway, just wriggle around a bit till it feels comfortable for you, okay? All right, so we're going to shoot Yasmin like this. That's it, lovely. Now, I'm just going to ask you to move 1 foot forward and 1 foot back a little bit so we can see the profile of those shoes. That's great. Okay, lovely, yeah? Now just turn your shoulders this way a little bit. Notice I use my hand to show her what to do. That looks great. Now we might just rest your elbow lightly on the back of that chair. Yep. Does that feel comfortable? Mm-hmm. Okay, great. Here we go. Good. And you'll notice this pose has a lot of triangles in it. Triangles always look great when we're posing. We've got about 5 or 6 different triangles in this pose, and it works really well. We've moved this chair around a bit so it's facing straight towards the camera. So we've got Yasmin facing towards the camera. It's not the sort of pose we'd do if our model had a shorter skirt on, but with this longer skirt it's going to be fine. So what we're going to do is just ask Yasmin to move her feet to the side so that her legs are on a bit of an angle. Yeah, lovely. That looks great. You know, she's got her hands where they feel most comfortable for her. So if we don't have to change things, we don't. The less instructions we give our model each time, the more comfortable she's going to feel. Okay, now looking up at the camera, Yasmin, here we go. Now I might get you up on your toe on this foot a little bit more. Yeah, that's it. Great. Okay, that's good. Now, Maybe just play with your hair with one hand. That's it. Lovely. Good. Okay. Terrific. All right. Now we're going to move the chair around a little bit further so that we can do a few extra poses with this chair. Okay.
Why don't I have notes?
Sorry?
You've prepared yourself notes. Where are my notes?
You don't have any notes because you're the clay that I'm sort of moulding. Yes. Okay, so I want you sitting a little bit on the front again. Yep. And I want you to cross this leg over that one, please. Yeah, lovely. Now it's important when we're doing these shots, and when we're doing lots of other shots too, particularly with ladies, is to keep those toes pointed. High heels help because that does that automatically, but if you're shooting someone who doesn't have shoes on, just make sure those toes are pointed because it will tighten up her calf and it will give her leg that little bit extra length. Okay, so lovely, looks great just like that. Maybe tilt that head a little bit to the side. Yeah, great. Okay, that's nice. Now we'll uncross your legs, but we'll cross your feet. That's it. Now notice the language that I use. I try to be specific about what I'm telling Yasmin to do so that she knows what she's doing. If I used language that was a little bit less accurate, then she would wonder a little bit about what I'm talking about. So think about the words that you use when you're describing these poses. Okay, we might get you to turn your shoulders a bit away from me here. Yep. And your face back this way. Yeah, that's it. Great. Okay, lovely. That's good. One more. Okay. All right, that'll do for those sitting on the chair shots. If we're using a stool, the same things would apply. It's just that she would be up a little bit taller. Same sort of positions are going to work, but play around with it yourself just to see what's going to work for you. Don't be afraid to make mistakes because that's how you learn. We've changed again. We've got Yasmin changed into a different outfit and we're doing some shots on the floor. Now, we're going to get her sitting on the floor doing various different poses. And you'll see how we do the changes in the poses and the way that we work through the poses. So to start with, we've got her sitting on the floor. We're going to do a shot of her like this, but then we're going to ask her to pick her knees up a little bit. Now, she hasn't got a short skirt on. This is actually pants that she's got on, because I wouldn't necessarily ask a model to do these sort of shots with a short skirt on. But if a model does have a short skirt on when we're doing these sort of poses and I ask her to change pose, I'll make sure that I turn around and look the other way. Because I don't want to be watching, she doesn't want me watching while she's changing poses, particularly if she's got a short skirt on. So respect your model, just make sure that she knows that you respect her so that you can keep that trust between the model and the photographer, because that trust is really important. Okay, so we're just going to do a shot like this first, Yasmin. Maybe that left arm, we'll move it behind your body, just so that you haven't got a hand sticking out of your back. All right, so just framing the shot here. Okay, here we go. Lovely. Now, we're going to put your feet side by side and we're going to lift your knees up. Okay. Now, this is quite a difficult pose for her to hold because she's got those heels on. But we're going to shoot a shot like this and then we're going to separate your feet a little bit forwards and backwards. Now, we might turn your shoulders this way a little bit too. Yeah, that's great. That feels okay. Just going to just wiggle around as I said before so that it feels comfortable. Okay, lovely. Focusing. Here we go. Great. Just a little tilt on that head. Yep, that's it. Good. And you'll notice I'm sitting down for these poses because I don't particularly want to be shooting down on her. Sometimes I might do that just to change the look of the shot, but for most shots I tend to like to be on the model's level if I can, just so that I'm showing her off. The perspective is going to be more attractive if I'm down here sitting. Plus I've got bad knees and it's easier for me to sit down than it is to stand up. Okay, so we're going to just push your feet out, one foot out a little bit. Yep, that's it. Great, so that we can see those shoes again. Here we go. Lovely, and we're going to switch feet. Put that knee up and that one down. That's it. So now we get to see both those shoes. And we know shoes are really important. Okay, lovely. Now, your left hand, we'll switch knees around again, sorry. Your left hand goes on top of that knee. Yep, lovely. Keep that posture up nice and tall. Great. That's a great shot. I love that one. Yeah. A little bit more serious expression for me. Yeah. Good. And maybe turn your face towards that light. Eyes to me. Yeah. Terrific. That looks great. Okay, now can we get you to roll over on your hip this way so that your legs are out to the side? Yep, lovely. Maybe keep both of those feet on top of each other. Yep, and that's good. Now, often when you're doing this sort of pose and your model has a bare shoulder or upper arm, you do tend to get a bit of a bulge up here because the muscle is supporting her weight this way. So just ask her to take a little bit of weight off there so that she's not pushing too far down on that arm. But it's a great pose and it's a terrific pose to Photoshop as well, which I'll talk about later on. Okay, lovely, here we go. Just turn that face a little bit, yeah, that's it. Okay, can you drop your foot off the back of that other foot? Yeah, great. All right, here we go. Good. What that does, dropping her foot off just tapers her legs up into her figure so that it just gives that nice narrow taper and makes her legs look a little bit longer as well. Now, can we move that foot to the front? Yeah, that's it. Great. And you'll notice Yasmin's pointing her toes beautifully. Lovely. Now, this left arm, can you put it over the back of your body for me and turn your shoulders away from me a little bit? Yeah? Great. Eyes to me, yeah? That's good. One more. Whenever you get a good shot, it's always good to shoot two, just in case one's a little bit soft in focus. Now we'll take that arm and move it over the front. Okay, so we've got at least half a dozen different variations just with one change of each of those poses. Okay, here we go. Lovely. Turn your face that way a little bit. Yep, eyes to me. Now just look down at your feet for me. Jasmine, yeah? Great. Okay, now we're going to turn you around and we're going to get you to lie on your tummy with your feet down that end and your face up towards the light here, okay? Now I'm going to turn around while she does this and just let me know when you're right. Lying on your tummy with your feet down that side and your face up towards the light.
Okay.
Okay, all right, terrific. Now, we're going to get you to kick your right foot up. Yes, your right foot up, that's good. And just like that, looks great. I'll just focus on her face. Lovely. Can you get that foot up a little bit closer? Yeah, great. Okay, now your arms, can you bring them in like this rather than have them out? Yep. That gives me the opportunity to zoom in a little bit closer so that I don't cut her hands out off the shot. All right, yeah, that's it. Great. All right, can you push all of your hair over that side? Yeah, it's a lot of physical work for a model. It's not an easy thing to do. Often the models are quite worn out at the end of the shoot. I'm very fit, so I can keep going as long as I need to, but the models often start to flag after an hour or two. Okay, what are you laughing at?
I'm trying not to laugh.
Okay, here we go. Yes, lovely. All right, terrific. Now, can you bring the other foot up and just cross your feet over for me? Yeah? Great. Lovely. Now, it's not often a good idea to shoot the soles of people's shoes or the soles of their feet because sometimes they can look a bit scuffed and a bit untidy. But, you know, give it a go, try it and see. You can always do a little bit of work in post-production if you need to. But Yasmin's shoes didn't look too scuffed at all, so I think they will be fine. But if I had the choice, I would shoot the side of her shoe rather than the sole of her shoe. All right, now can we roll you over on your hip that way so that you're to the side? Okay, still want you down on your elbow, please. Yeah, that's it, that foot over in front. Yeah, great. All right, here we go. Now with this shot, I can shoot her full length with her feet in the shot, or I can move in a little bit closer and just shoot her from the knees up. Lovely. Now, are you able to put your chin on your hand this way? Can you get down a little bit lower? Yeah? That's it? Okay. Good, yeah. Lovely. Okay, now, can you move around so that you're facing me a bit more? Your feet are further back around so you're facing straight onto me. Yep. And I just want 2 hands up beside your face, yeah. Now when we're doing this, there's a couple of things we need to think about. We don't necessarily want fists because they look a bit strong and a bit people tend to look stressed when their fists are up. So we want nice, gentle hands, but we don't want her to push her hand against her face too hard either, because we want to keep that nice and gentle. We don't want to push up any skin. So just nice and gentle on the face, and we'll get those shots. Okay, that looks really cool. You look really bored, but that's all right. Okay, lovely. Here we go. Yep. Good. Maybe move those hands a little bit further back. Yep, so I can see your face, and bend your pinkies just a little. Yeah. Great. Okay. All right. One more. Okay. Perfect. All right. We might get you changed, and we'll try a different thing. Okay. We've changed positions now. We're doing some full-length shots of Yasmin, some standing shots. And there are a couple of things that you need to know about shooting standing shots. We're not doing freestanding shots at the moment. We've got Yasmin against the white wall, so she's still got something to lean against and something to feel a bit more secure. But a couple of things you need to think about when you're shooting full-length shots of somebody standing, particularly when you're shooting ladies. The first one is to get down low. Don't shoot from your standing position, unless you're a little bit shorter than me. But ideally we want to be at her hip height or around about her belly button height, because we want to be shooting directly onto her, or a little bit upwards maybe, because the lower the angle we get, the taller she will look. The higher we get from our camera position, the shorter we're going to make her look, because we're effectively shooting down on her. So get down on a chair, get down on one knee if you're shooting full-length shots, and this applies to weddings, to anything you shoot where people are standing up. It will make them look more elegant, it'll make them look a little bit taller, and everybody loves to look that way. So that's why I'm sitting on my little stool. So what we're going to do is shoot a couple of shots of Yasmin, standing up shots here. Now, when I'm shooting full-length shots of particularly females, the major thing I'm looking for is to try and emphasize the nice curves in her figure. So we're going to pose Yasmin in a way that's going to accentuate that. Now, if we take a photograph of Yasmin the way she is, just stay there, Yasmin, we'll just shoot that like that. Okay, just focusing. Here we go. Lovely. All right, so that's a great shot, but we can make that shot look even better. So what we're going to do, Yasmin, is get your hands, maybe put your hands behind your bottom. Yep, lean back on them. We're going to get one knee and push it across in front of the other one. Yep, that's it. That's great. So what we've done here is we've narrowed her knee area, and straight away we can see more curve up in her hips. We've moved her arms away from the side of her body so that we get to see her waist. So it gives us much more of a feminine shape to the shot. We'll take this shot and compare it to the previous one. Here we go. Lovely. Now, can we change legs and put the other knee across in front of the other one? Because generally there's one that works better than the other one. It depends on your camera angle and the way that her body feels. So this way I feel is a little bit better. So we're going to shoot this way. That's it. Lovely. Just looking straight at me. Terrific. Now, another way we can separate her arms from her waist is to put her hands on her hips. Could you do that for me, please? I'm not a big fan of hands on hips because it's pretty much the go-to pose for anybody who gets in front of a camera. But occasionally it can look good, but we're going to be a little bit more creative than that with this. We're going to use one hand on your hip and the other hand just down on your thigh for us. Yeah, that's it. Maybe turn your shoulders a little bit that way. Yep. No, we'll go the other way because your elbow's stopping your turning. Yeah, that's it. Okay, eyes to me. Yeah, good. Now, can we cross your feet over, please? That's it. That achieves a similar result to bending the knee in front. It narrows her knees and gives us that nice shape up in her figure. Okay, lovely. Here we go. Now, with the hand that's on your thigh, can you put it up over your head for me? Yeah, lovely. And you'll see Yasmin just turns that hand to the side beautifully. Lovely ballerina fingers. That looks great. Now I want you just to look over my head, just up where my fingers are here. Yeah, good. Okay, that's great. Now, so just relax, feet beside each other. We're going to get one foot resting back against the wall. Okay, so can you just put one foot back against the wall? Yep. Now, maybe a little bit difficult in this dress. No, that's good. What I don't want her to do is to lift her foot up too high, because then it's going to look as if she's cut off at the knee. I still want to be able to see that foot. Now, it's not an easy pose to hold, because particularly in heels, and we're going to shoot it as quickly as we can. But we want those hands separated from your hips a little bit, yep, and that knee just pushed across the front a little. Yeah, that's it, lovely. Turn your face a little bit towards the light, yeah, Great. Now I just gave her 4 instructions, which is a no-no, okay? You didn't see that. Okay, that looks lovely. Now, just same feet, just cross your arms across, yeah? That's it, lovely. Now I can shoot this as a full-length shot, or I can zoom in closely and just do from her hips up. Now we've talked about previously in other lessons about where to crop a female form and a male form. So when we're cropping a lady at 3/4 length, we want to crop just above her knees. If we're cropping a half length, we want to crop at the hips. And if we're doing a headshot, we want to crop down around the bottom of the ribs. Okay, so they're generalizations again, but they work most of the time. All right, so I'm going to change a little bit here. I'm going to get you to turn to the side that way. Yep, and lean your shoulder against the wall. Just imagine you're waiting for a bus. Nobody's around. You're just on your phone. No, you're not on your phone. Okay, and I'm going to stand up here and shoot Yasmin. Now, this light is not particularly conducive to this type of shot because we're going to lose light on Yasmin's face. But if we turn her to look straight down there, we should be fine. That's it, lovely. Okay, focusing. Here we go. That's nice. Now just turn your eyes to me, Yasmin. Yeah? Lovely. Just with this hand, with your left hand, just play with your hair a little bit. Yeah? That's it. Good. Yep, eyes to me. Yeah. Give me that big smile. Yeah, perfect. Fantastic. She's good at this. We're going to do some freestanding shots now, just out in the middle of space with nothing to hang on to, and you'll see how we approach that. Okay. Well done. We'll have to get a video of Yasmin clapping. So we've moved on to a freestanding shot now. Now these are often the hardest shots for people to do if they haven't had much experience, but we've given them all of those poses beforehand. We've worked up to this position where we can do some freestanding poses. A lot of the things that we've just talked about apply to the freestanding poses, like the knee in front, the crossed feet, things like that, hands away from the sides of the body. But we need to make sure that, that our model's posture is nice and tall. Sometimes you will find that people's shoulders start to creep up, particularly when they're a little bit nervous or they're a bit unsure about it. So take notice of that, and if you can see that happening, just remind them to drop those shoulders down, because it does make a difference to how relaxed they look in front of the camera. So we're going to do a few freestanding shots here. So to start with, Yasmin, we're going to do that first shot with your feet together and that knee across in front, please. Yeah, that's it. Lovely. Just turn that face towards the light a little bit. Those hands in front look great. Okay, now just focus. Here we go. Yeah. Lovely. Now, hands behind your back, please. Yep. That's it. Great. Now, I'm not one of those photographers who flips out if I can't see a limb in a photograph. If there's only one arm showing or there's only half an arm showing, I'm fine with that, because I assume that there's a forearm on the end of that upper arm. So, you know, it's up to you, however you feel, but trying to include all limbs in every shot that you do, you're going to end up with a whole lot of shots that look the same. So I don't mind doing that. So we'll chop Yasmin's arms off if we need to. So we're going to put 2 arms up just in front of your face. Yeah, that's it. That's good. Push that knee across in front again for me. Yeah, that's it. Lovely. Okay. Now, again, you need to be a little bit careful of this if she does have a short skirt on, but this looks fine for Yasmin. Lovely. Okay. Yeah, arms down again. Yeah, that feels a bit better, doesn't it? Yes, okay. So we're going to separate your feet this time. And notice that word separate. Separate your feet sounds so much better than spread your feet or anything like that. It just sounds a little bit tacky. So separate your feet a little bit. We're going to give a little bit of sideways in this shot, because when we're shooting full-length shots of people, particularly slim people like Yasmin, we've got a lot of space in our frame to the side. So helping to fill up that frame makes our composition look a little bit different. So we're going to separate her feet, but we're not going to have her weight evenly spread on both feet. We're going to have a weight on one foot or the other. So which one feels good to you? That one. Yeah, that's good. We'll turn that shoe out a little bit so we can see that shoe. Yeah, great. Might put the hand on this hip. Yeah. Now, when we put hands on hips, don't put it right up on the waist, because we're covering up her waist. Put it down on her hip, because it gives that arm a little bit more length and lengthens her figure that little bit more. This sort of scrunches up her figure a little bit and looks a bit awkward. Okay, that looks great. Just turn that face a little bit to the light and look out just above my head, just here. Yeah? All right, terrific. Here we go. Lovely. So Yasmin just smiles automatically. I don't even have to tell her that. And that gets me on to expressions. Expressions are really important when we're doing portrait shots, but if your model's expression looks fine and you're happy with it, there's no need to alter it. We can try and elicit different expressions out of people if we want a scary shot or we want a happy shot or something like that, but don't put too much pressure on your model because she may not be able to come up with those sort of expressions, and then she's going to start to feel a little bit nervous about it. So if she looks good, as Yasmin does with any expression that she does, then shoot it that way. It's going to be fine. The other thing about eye line, you'll notice I asked Yasmin to look at my hand up here. Because I'm down lower than she is, if she looks at my camera all the time, she's going to have her eyes squinted down a little bit, which I don't like quite as much. It's nice to have her looking at the camera, but if I ask her to look above my head, it means that her eyes are wider, we can see more colour in her eyes, and her eyes just attract more attention that way. So mix it up a little bit, do a little bit of both, okay? All right, so this time I'm going to get you to look at the light, just at the centre of the light for me, okay? Maybe that weight on that 1 foot again, yeah? That's good, yeah, great. And whenever I do a shot like this, here we go, I'll do another shot and ask her to turn her eyes to the camera, yeah. So you've got 2 different shots just from the one pose, simply by turning her eyes one way or the other. But if I said, look at me, if I say turn your face that way, then look at me, she's going to turn her face back to me. But if I say turn your face that way and then turn your eyes to me, she knows what I mean, okay? So those words, being specific and being accurate with your words, make a big difference to how comfortable she feels and how well the session is going. Okay, so can we turn you around away from me a little bit? Maybe away from the light that way. Yeah, that's it. I want you to put your feet in position as if you're walking. So 1 foot in front of the other. Yeah, you weight on the front foot. Yeah, lift up that heel. That looks great. And then turn to look back at me. Yeah, that's great. Okay, you can do that. Now that was a few instructions at a time, but that's okay. Just give me a little bit of leeway. Yeah, terrific. Okay, can we do it the other way? Facing that way? Yep. Now sometimes this is not easy when you expect a model to do the same thing at 90 degrees. It's not an easy thing to remember. Okay, that's it. Lovely. Yeah, that's it. Now look at the light for me. Yeah. Okay, great. Now back around to the front for me. And can I get you to put your feet into 3rd position? If you know what 3rd position is. Yep. Yep, that's perfect. Now 3rd position is a foot position where you have 1 foot on an angle and the other one, the heel, is into the centre of the other foot. Those dancers will know. I'm a dancer, so I know all of this sort of stuff. But those dancers will know what 3rd position is. But just look it up, Google it, and you'll see what it is. Now, 3rd position is a position that allows her to get that nice posture. And even if she had a long dress on, these feet in this 3rd position is going to give her more of an elegant line. So remember this pose, the T shape of her feet. It feels quite comfortable. It narrows her knees that little bit, and it gives a nice posture and nice elegance to the pose. Okay, so we'll do it this way. I want you just to get up on your toe on this front foot though, if you can, a little bit. Yeah, that's it. Good. And maybe hands behind your back again. Great. Turn your shoulders. Yep. Great. And nice to me. Good. I'm just going to shoot her from the knees up this shot, and then I'm going to shoot a full length shot. Wonderful. Okay, so there's another thing we can do to fill the frame with these freestanding shots, and that's to tilt our frame a little bit, just to give the shot a little bit more of a dynamic look. Diagonals always look dynamic. Don't overdo it. This is what we get when we overdo it. So just in that same position, Yasmin. Yep, here we go. That's too much tilt, okay? We just need to tilt maybe 10 degrees, 15 degrees, just to give it a little bit of a dynamic feel. Here we go, yeah. That's it, and don't do it too often. 2 or 3 shots a session is fine, but if you do every shot, I've seen weddings with 160 or 200 tilted shots. It just gets a little bit monotonous after a while. Okay, we'll get you changed again, and we'll do some other shots. I've got no idea what we're going to do next, but we're going to do some fun stuff. we're going to finish off this session with a few sort of fun shots. We're going to get Yasmin moving around a little bit, doing some walking, doing some moving, some spinning, just to see what we can get. Because I know we've got great shots to start with. We want to experiment a little bit and see what else we can come up with. Because no matter how well the session went, it's good to be able to play around and do something at the end particularly. We might get a jumping, we might get to do a handstand or anything like that. Just so we won't really. Just so that we get some shots that may be a little bit different. Okay, I'm not going to get you to do a handstand. Don't worry about that. Can you do it?
I can try.
Oh, okay. We might give that a go later. We'll wait till the end just in case you break your leg. All right, so what I want you to do is to just move to that side of the background and I'll just get you to walk across the frame. So maybe on your third step, 1, 2, 3, just turn to look at the camera. Okay, and we'll do a few of them just to make sure that we get one that works well. I'll just frame, I'll just focus where I think you're going to be. Okay, all right, when you're ready, Yasmin. That's it. Yeah. Now this is a difficult thing for models to do because you're not really conscious when you're walking, when you're doing the shopping or you're walking to work, you're not conscious about what you're doing. But it's sometimes difficult to know which arm goes forward and which arm goes back and how to do it naturally. So sometimes it takes a few goes to get it. Yasmin's very good at it, obviously, because she's here and I couldn't say anything else. But we'll do a few shots and just to make sure that we get one that works. Maybe don't go off the hard floor, just stay on the hard floor to make it easier for you. We'll just do, on the second step, just look at me, okay? Hang on, here we go. Okay. Yeah. Can we walk a little bit quicker? I know it's not easy with heels. Okay. Yes, okay, that's good. Now, I want to try and catch Yasmin with the weight on her front foot. Timing is everything in photography. Even doing still images, the timing and the time that we press that shutter makes all the difference between the shots. And you'll see when I show you the sequence of shots, how one of them will look so much better than the others because I've shot the image at exactly the right time. So can we do a couple more, please? That's it. Once again. Okay. Yes, that's it. That's the shot that I nailed. Because her front foot's on the ground. You notice a lot of walking shots, particularly runway shots that fashion photographers shoot. They try and get that model on the front foot because it looks so much more elegant and the posture looks so much better. Okay, now we're going to do one walking towards me. Now obviously we haven't got a lot of space to move, so we're only going to do one step or 1.5, okay? So one thing to remember when we're doing this is that cross your foot in front a little bit, okay? Because we don't want the feet separated. So the foot in front and think about which arm's going to be forward. So if your left leg goes forward, your right arm goes forward. Okay, so we'll do a couple of these. I'll tell you when. Okay, when you're ready. Yeah, I think I need to get you on the front one because you'll be too close to the light otherwise. So the first step, continue to walk, but I'll catch you on the first step. Okay, when you're ready. Yep. Yes, good. I was a little bit late. Just hang on a second, I'll just get my autofocus working okay. In the middle, yep. Okay, when you're ready. Yes. Yes. Once more. This time, just turn your face towards the light a little bit. Still look at me. Okay, when you're ready. Yep, one more. Okay. Yes, okay. That's great. You can see the result of that shot. That looks really good. So it's worthwhile playing around doing some of these shots. All right, now we might get you turning a little bit more towards the corner, over this way, and I just want you to turn your waist around and look at me. Now, imagine you're looking in the mirror, like I do in the mornings, and you just sort of turn your back and you do that, the blue steel look into the mirror. I know you don't do that, but
I don't do that.
no. All right. We'll just turn around and then give me a intense look. Give me a real fierce look into the camera. Can you do that?
I'm not good at them.
Well, you've had half an hour's experience, so we'll see how we go. That's okay if you can't. Don't worry.
Do you want fierce look?
I want
Fierce look.
fierce or angry. Yeah.
Angry.
Can you do that?
Can try.
A little bit. Just think of something. Think about you've got to go to work and it's really horrible. You don't want to go to work and you love your job. Yeah. I knew that would be the case. Okay, we'll see what we come up with.
All right.
All right, so I'm just zooming in and focusing on, yep, okay. All right, when you're, turn your shoulders away from me. Yep, and then turn to me and give me that look. Yep, when you're ready. Yep. Perfect, that was good, yeah. Maybe flip your hair at the same time, this time if you can.
Angrily flip my hair.
Angry hair flip, this is called, yeah. Okay, when you're ready. Yes, but I was too late. Do again. Yep. Okay. Oh, that's looking cool. Okay, that's good. All right, one last shot. Can you gather your hair up on top of your head and sort of hold it up there as if you're looking at it in the mirror? Yep. Maybe turn to the side a little bit. That's it. Yep. And your eyes to me. Yeah. Great. That looks beautiful. Now look out over my head up here. Yep. Good. Okay. Terrific. All right. I think that'll do us, Yasmin. Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Yasmin's done a fantastic job today. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next lesson.